So as we approach the new year, and some of us are thinking of our good deeds that we've done in the past and our not so good deeds, and we're kind of making plans and, maybe thinking, or maybe you're starting out just now, you're kind of making your road plan of how to become a good guitarist. I was thinking to myself, if I had one thing that I could be of service to you all, to my patrons, to my YouTube followers, everyone that, enjoys watching the videos, what would that one thing be? Because I think, oftentimes we think, we have to be fast and we have to, we compare ourselves and we think, how do we fare compared to this one other person? Am I getting too old? Am I too old to start? Am I ever going to be a fast guitarist? And so I was thinking, if I had one thing and one thing only that I could be of service to you, what would that be? And I think it would be this. If I could inspire you if I could somehow make you feel better about your playing, feel like you are in the right track, or put you in the right track, and kind of cut all of the distractions, kind of do away with all the distractions, or maybe just make you feel that, what you've got is all right, what you have so far is okay, that's enough. And if I could choose that, versus being the fast, versus showing off, versus trying to be the best of all, that would be the one thing I try to do. So I thought, well, maybe I'll shoot a video and try to do that, see if I achieve. You can let me know at the end of this video if I have or not. So I picked 3 of my favorite concepts, kind of like ideas, maybe mind notes, things that guide us in moments where we're in a bit of a crisis. And I'm going to share with you because they're really helpful to me, and maybe they'll help you too. So the first thing that I think I try to carry really strongly, because I oftentimes, worry about, how do I fare compared to others? And whenever I start going that route, I always try to direct my focus to what is cool rather than what is fast, what moves me rather than what impresses people, what I feel good about rather than doing what pleases others, and worrying so much about how I'm gonna look in other people's eyes. And so, this is one of the reasons why I really like playing Bossa Nova and that kind of world, and to a certain extent classical guitar too, because best just doesn't exist there. It's like you can be cool, you can be creative, you can be innovative, but just best and fastest and that stuff just doesn't exist. It's not part of that world. You wouldn't ever come to Antonio Carlos Jobim and say that girl from Ipanema is kind of slow and not very impressive. It just doesn't really, it makes no sense. So that's one of the reasons why I like that style. But I think that can be applied to any style. I think we're coming to the age where AI is taking over. So perfection is going to be something that's going to be, for the robots. Let them do that. Let's focus on what is inspiring, what moves us, what's exciting. Robots won't ever be able to play exciting music. It's just going to be robotic and perfect. Maybe. So that's the first thing. So cool rather than impressive. Think of Segovia performing when he was 82 or something. He managed to fill a whole hall with people coming to see him. He wasn't the fastest or the most perfect player by then. By all standards, he was a little bit sloppy even. But he was cool. It was amazing to see an 80-year-old performing on a classical guitar at that age. So it's cool you can sustain for the rest of your life. You can be a cool grandpa, you can be a cool 92-year-old. But the most perfect, the fastest, you can't sustain that. That's unsustainable. So that's the first point. Focus on what's cool rather than what is perfect or fastest or impressive. The second mind note is to take inventory of what you're good at. What are your strengths? And I think in this life, you really have to play your strengths. And oftentimes your strengths are a combination of things. It's not just one thing. It's like you're good at this plus that, and makes you, very effective with, with the whole combination of traits that you have makes you who you are. And I think that's a really good lesson, because oftentimes we just compare with one thing, how fast can I play, or how well can I improvise in this key, or how can I play this piece, who's best. And it's just so narrow. We're a collection of different traits, different things. So I think try to understand yourself and improve what you are good at, also what you're not so good at. But I think you also have to play your strengths, really understand yourself, and do what you're best at, rather than trying to wear other people's shoes. That's the second mind note. The third and final concept I'm going to throw out there, the third and final idea that I'm going to share with you is don't give up. Don't ever give up. It sounds kind of cheesy. I know it's a little bit overused, but that is so true. Just look around you and take note of who is successful. I'm not talking about kind of raw talent. I'm not talking about people that are really talented at what they do. I'm talking about people that are successful. They are effective at what they do. They have conquered, their particular area. And you see so many instances of people that weren't by nature good at what they did. They just became because of the sheer willpower or never giving up. Just keep doing it. You always have to assess to see if you're in the right track, right? But you don't give up. If that's something that you really want, you just have to go for it. Becoming good at any one thing is something that takes time. It's like good cheese or good wine, or a good relationship or whatever. It takes watering. It takes time. You have to oil the thing. You have to keep coming back over and over. You have to be able to sustain it in the long run. So don't give up. If that's something you want, just go for it. And I think we can be inspired by seeing other people that are like that just are so persistent, and they're able to play the long game. Oftentimes, intermediate guitarists, and I've noticed this, are so knowledgeable about things. They're the ones that have the gear. They're the ones that have the knowledge about composers, pieces, techniques, books and whatever. They're the ones that know the things because they've been in the game for long enough, and they're the ones that kind of make it to the long run, the long shot. And as you're playing this long game, don't wait until tomorrow. If you're clear on what you want to achieve, start right now. The time to begin changing is right now. Tomorrow is always going to be tomorrow, because tomorrow will be tomorrow. It's like the time to start is right now. It's to begin changing right now, to begin with your goal right now, and then you're playing the long game. And with that comes that cliche of less is more. As you make your list of objectives for the next few months, for the next year, less is more. So maybe 3 pieces, 2 bits of technique. Make a short list. Don't kind of time yourself. If you have a lot of time, of course, add more. But just remember, less is more. But along with that, it's very important that you have your archetypal ideas, that you have your mind notes, that they're written here somewhere. You're going to remember them, because you're gonna get those times where you're gonna start doubting yourself if you're gonna make it, if it's, is this the right piece? And then if you have these ideas in your head, if you have these mind notes, they'll help you play the long game, not the short game. We're not going to kind of start and work really hard for a week, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then give up. That's not how you achieve anything that's great. So I hope that's helpful. I hope some of what I said is helpful. These are my mind notes as well, my thoughts that really guide me. And so I hope that helps you too. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until our next video. Bye-bye for now.